Today's top stories. France's President Nicolas Sarkozy today warned Iran that it is at risk of an Israeli strike if it continues with its controversial nuclear program, which he said is being used to develop nuclear weapons. Speaking in Damascus, where he met Syria's President Bashar al-Assad, Sarkozy said, quote, "Iran is taking a major risk in continuing its process of obtaining nuclear weapons, which we are certain is happening." The United States and Israel have not taken the military option off the table on dealing with Iran's nuclear program, which they also suspect is being used to develop nuclear weapons. Iran strongly denies the charge. But Sarkozy said that an Israeli strike on Iran would be a, quote, catastrophe that must be avoided. Al-Assad said yesterday that any attack on Iran would be a, quote, disaster, and vowed to, quote, play a role in the standoff over Iran's nuclear program. Meanwhile, Israel's defense minister Ehud Barak today said that diplomatic efforts and increased sanctions on Iran should continue, but other states should not remove any options from the table. Speaking at a news conference in Tbilisi, Georgia, U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney vowed today that his country would stand by Georgia in its conflict with Russia, and called Moscow's recent military incursion into the breakaway regions of South Ossetia and Abkhazia, quote, illegitimate. In a reference to the peaceful revolution of 2003, which brought Georgia's pro-Western president Mikhail Saakashvili to power, Cheney said, quote, "After your nation won its freedom in the Rose Revolution, America came to the aid of this courageous young democracy. We are doing so again as you work to overcome an invasion of your sovereign territory and an illegitimate, unilateral attempt to change your country's borders by force that has been universally condemned by the free world." The U.S. yesterday announced a $1 billion aid package to help Georgia rebuild its economy. John McCain's running mate, Sarah Palin, rallied party supporters at the Republican National Convention last night in St. Paul, Minnesota, with a speech attacking Democratic presidential candidate Barack Obama on his stance toward the Middle East. The 44-year-old Alaskan governor criticized Obama for saying he would meet leaders from countries like Iran, which the U.S. suspects of sponsoring terrorism and pursuing a nuclear weapons program. She told the crowd,
"Terrorist states are seeking nuclear weapons without delay. He wants to meet them without preconditions. Al-Qaeda terrorists still plot to inflict catastrophic harm on America, and he's worried that someone won't read them their rights."
Palin also criticized the Democrats on the issue of oil, pointing to the possibility of Iran controlling the passage of oil through the strategic Strait of Hormuz waterway. Obama's campaign spokesman later called Palin's speech, quote, well delivered, but said that it resembled, quote, the same divisive partisan attacks we've heard from George Bush for the last 8 years. These stories and more at IranVNC.com.